I am thrilled to be with you, and this is going to be a powerful YouTube live today. And I'm going to be talking today on the topic of dedicating your passions, hobbies, and gifts to the Lord. Well, we're going to welcome those who are joining us on the live broadcast. Um, and let me retitle this so that we have the right title on our broadcast. Yeah, you guys are, it's happening. And it's good to have everybody. It's good to see some people on here. Jess, good to have you here. Patricia from Portland. Beth, thank you for joining us. Thanks for being such a big part of what we're doing here. And one of you can help me what's the title that you guys see for this particular YouTube live, Facebook live? I'd like to see if I have the right title on here. If not, I'll fix it later. But what I'm going to be talking about today again is dedicating our passions, dedicating our gifts, dedicating our talents, dedicating our hobbies to the Lord. And yeah, all right, very good. We're on track here. And before I get into what we're going to be talking about today is I want to just say we're starting our annual Negativity Fast Positivity Feast tomorrow, February 22nd, 40-day event that we've done for years for Lent. And it is going to be really powerful this year. Even if you've done it before, I know people who do it every year. You're going to get a daily email with a fast to lie. You're going to get in that email, you're going to get a truth to feast on, plus just some of my best teachings on mind renewal, hope, joy, positive influence, etc. And Claire, good to see you here on this. Beth, glad you're enjoying pancakes for supper. And by the way, if you're new to our Igniting Hope broadcast, either on YouTube or simulcast on Facebook, why don't you put in the chat or where you're from, or if you haven't been with us for a while, just greet us in there. Just always like to interact, and that's so fun. And yeah, just welcome Lori from Denver. We love Denver, Colorado, and just flew through there yesterday. Did a weekend in Casper, Wyoming. Some great churches there. Hope Church, Restoration Church, who actually hosted the event, and then we also River of Life Church there that we connected with and had a team. And I'm going to be in Carmel, Indiana, Indianapolis area, not this weekend, but the following. But yeah, our annual Negativity Fast Positivity Feast starts. You can go to ignitinghopeacademy.com for that. But let's talk about dedicating our gifts and talents, hobbies, passions to the Lord. When I was in Casper, I was talking to a 14-year-old young man who is into snowboarding. And he likes snowboarding. He earned enough money to buy himself a season pass for the local snowboarding area, ski area. And I told him this. I felt prophetically to say, as you dedicate it, I'm not saying he hadn't, but I was saying as you dedicate this hobby to the Lord and say, I'm doing it for your glory, then I told him I believe God is going to use that so supernaturally to open doors. I believe also the Lord's going to bless his ability, and it's going to create great influence for him in the future. It's going to create great influence for him in the future. Jenny, glad you're here from Reno, praying over you. Thanks for the reports on your health and the tests you've had. We love you so much. And because I was thinking about David. David was a radical worshiper. He's out there in the fields with the sheep. He's writing worship songs. He's playing instruments, I'm sure, out there. He's faithful in taking care of the sheep. And he's playing with slingshots. And so it's interesting that it wasn't David's worship. It wasn't his faithfulness in a job. It wasn't his writing of psalms and that was what saved his nation. It was his quote unquote secular hobby of slingshots. that was the key for him to save the nation. That's what brought him into the situation with Goliath and brought Goliath down. And I find that fascinating, and I find that encouraging. And, I think about you, and you think about what is a hobby? What is a passion? What is a special gift that you have that as you dedicate that to the Lord and you say, God, I want to use this for your glory. I dedicate that to you. As you do that, something supernatural happens. I can imagine David feeling guilty, maybe about playing with slingshots. He might have thought, hey, I really should be worshiping right now. I really should be writing psalms to the Lord. But I just want to play with this slingshot just for 30 more minutes. Let me see if I can, take off that limb branch or something. And again, he probably felt guilty about it, and certainly as I get into this topic even deeper, so many of us feel guilty about our passions because we feel like they're taking us away from what the Lord would have us do. Now, certainly we need to be careful that our passions aren't self-destructive, aren't passions that are, against what the Lord has said for us, or that our passions don't become such an obsession that we neglect the important things in our lives, and where we're moving in a direction personally and relationally that is not healthy. That is not healthy. Angelica, glad you were at the prophetic conference. We had such a good time there, and what a blessing to connect with people like you and me. And I mean, like you and me. You! And I think about, in my own life. And by the way, if you want to put in the chat a passion that you have, a gift that you have, that you've either dedicated to the Lord already and you're going to rededicate it at a higher level today, or maybe you've never really said, God, thank you for this passion. I dedicate it to you right now. I ask you, like David, to use it for your glory. Why don't you put it in the chat? You know what that is. Lori, thank you for that encouragement. The breakout session being life changing. I love that. And those, what's so powerful is the things that I taught there in the breakout session on prophetic ministry and prophesying to yourself. The title of that was "You're Crazy If You Don't Talk to Yourself or Don't Prophesy." So much of that is in my book, "You're Crazy If You Don't Talk to Yourself," and just in our podcasts and blogs that we do and these YouTube lives. So thanks for the encouragement on that. But I'd love to have you put in the chat what you're passionate about. Jacqueline, you said singing over people for peace and healing. Wow. I love that. One of the passions I have is sports. I like sports. I like basketball. I like football. I like baseball. And I used to feel guilty about that. And I will tell you, I've had to make adjustments over the years about, making sure it doesn't consume me. I think I've got it in a pretty good place right now. Matter of fact, I really am fully convinced I do. To use the title of my book, Fully Convinced. And I dedicated that to the Lord. I said, I dedicate my passion for sports to you, Jesus. And He has used that. I've coached, when I was pastoring in Nevada, I coached the high school girls basketball team. I coached the boys baseball team, and it opened incredible doors up to influence people, to help people come to Jesus in that city, in that town. And so I look at that as an example. And so, Stephanie, you put administration and helps. I like that. Sharing healthy beliefs, Beth. And Patricia, you say you're passionate about protecting children in intercession. And I like this. I like the fact that what you're saying, even in some of the prayer things. And I'd like to, let me ask it this way. What are some seemingly non-spiritual passions that you have and gifts and talents? My wife, Wendy, we read a book years ago by John Maxwell, and I would recommend the book, Putting Your Dream to the Test. Putting Your Dream to the Test. And as we read that, he has 10 questions to ask that will help you identify, what your dreams are, what your gifts are, what your passions are. And one of the things that Wendy and I, what we found out about Wendy, and we kind of already knew it, but it was really identified then, was that she has a great passion for home decorating, interior design, beautification. And so because of that, we bought a fixer-upper rental house, and she began putting her talents to use there. And it's also been a great passion. She's dedicated that to the Lord, and just the beauty, even in some of the things in our own house, of what she's done has just brought great just benefit to the kingdom. And so, Jacqueline, you say painting. I like it. And we just are in agreement with you about painting. And, when you think about what it could be playing chess. It could be paintball. And it could be macrame, crypto kips. I don't even know what that is. Walking. Beth put in there. Tim, you put restoring historical properties to tell and regain our city's legacy. Wow. I love that. Biking. We just dedicate biking to the Lord, restoring historical properties to the Lord. That's so. Walking. We dedicate, Beth, you're walking to the Lord. It's a passion. You do it unto the Lord. And Katie, you say playing ukulele. I love that as well, playing ukulele. I have a passion as well for dogs. I love dogs. And I just dedicate my love for dogs to you, Jesus, right now. Thank you that you've put that in me. And Melanie, you say scrap booking has been a way to remember all he has done for me and brought me through as I didn't, so I don't die on the vine. Scrapbooking. Man, isn't it just so, it just fascinates me, all of the things. Gardening. We had somebody when we were in Weaverville, someone who was just so good with flowers, so good with gardening. And then they actually used their passion to help beautify and improve Weaverville. You know what I really sense prophetically today as I share this message? I am sensing that people are attaching faith to their hobbies, gifts, and passions like never before. And it's going to make a huge difference. I used to say years ago, God, I can't wait until I do something great for you. And he said, instead of waiting to do something great for me, why don't you attach great faith to what you're doing now, and it will become great. Attach great faith to what you're doing now, and it will become great. And I believe in this message to you, I'm speaking to you, that you are receiving grace right now to attach great faith to these hobbies, passions, and gifts. And as you do, God's going to multiply it. He's going to use it in ways that you're going to be very surprised in. He's going to give you creative ideas concerning that. He's going to open doors for it as well. Oh, Tom, you're afraid some of these dreams will be too big. Oh boy. What if we change the world unintentionally? I like it. Jenny, you say connecting with and encouraging people, even though you're an introvert. Oh, and you're laughing. I like that. Beth, your dog, yes, is very persistent. And I believe that the Lord is going to use you to validate people. It's like I think about this woman in Weaverville who was a great spiritual mother and who didn't seem to have, she felt less than other people because she didn't seem to flow as well in the gift of prophecy or flow as well in the gift of healing, and even communication was difficult at times for her, publicly. And she was tempted to believe she was less than, that she had inferior giftings. And again, the only reason that we would be insignificant is if we believe we're insignificant. We're all significant. And one of the biggest lies of the enemy is you're not enough. You're not doing enough. And when we actually attach faith to who we are and what we do, something supernatural happens. Something supernatural happens. And if you've just jumped on and we're talking today about dedicating our hobbies, passions, and gifts to the Lord, I'll just say it again. Certainly we want to make sure those hobbies, passions, and gifts are in line with Scripture, God's core values. And we want to make sure that we don't become obsessive with them and allow them to become so dominant in our lives that it takes us away from clear other priorities. But with that said, it's time for us to believe that these natural desires, these things that we consider are fun, we need to, it's time for us to attach faith to them, to say, God, I give you this. I dedicate it to you. I dedicate my love for snowboarding to you. I dedicate my love for playing checkers to you. I dedicate my love to post fun things on social media to you. I dedicate my knitting to you. And so on. So on. And as we do, great things are going to happen. Great things. David dedicated his slingshot, his sling to the Lord, and it caused breakthrough. It caused breakthrough. Yeah, just put in, if you jumped on, we're putting in the chats what we're passionate about, what hobbies we have. It may not seem as spiritual as some of the other things, but I believe it wasn't David's worship that saved the nation. It wasn't David's faithfulness to sheep that saved the nation. It was David's seemingly secular hobby of slingshots that took out Goliath that saved the nation. As we dedicate and attach faith to these things, big things happen. Yeah, Lisa, you say looking after animals, decorating, singing, and helping strangers when I come across a situation. Wow. How good is that? I love to encourage people. I love this smile. I dedicate my smile to you, Lord. I like to laugh. I dedicate my laughter to you. Use my laughter. Use my smile. Jessica Cup, by the way, Wendy and I are so looking forward to being in Carmel and your Indianapolis area in the beginning of March, the first weekend in March. And wow, we love you and Jesse. And you quote 1 Thessalonians 5:23, may God himself, the God who makes everything holy and whole, make you holy and whole, put you together, spirit, soul, and body, and keep you fit for the coming of the Master, Jesus Christ. God makes our hobbies holy when we engage our faith. Yes, we're excited to be there. All right, I'm going to wrap this up here in just a moment. And before I do, I just want to mention a couple things that are available here at Igniting Hope. Please just keep writing in the chat if you're doing the live, if you're on live with me today. Keep writing in the chat what your hobbies are and that you are dedicating to the Lord, what gifts you have you're dedicating to the Lord, what passions you have that you're dedicating to the Lord today. And I'll say it again as we present it Just like the boy presented his fish and loaves, it got multiplied. Jesus gave thanks for it as it was presented, and it is multiplied. Wow. Yes. A couple things coming up. I mentioned the Negativity Fast Positivity Feast starting tomorrow on ignitinghopeacademy.com. Also wanted to mention that we have certified belief trainers. I saw Tom on here, saw Claire on here, Igniting Hope certified belief trainers. There may be others that I've missed, Beth. And I'm just want to say that you can go to our website, ignitinghope.com. You can look for belief trainers. If you want a session with an Igniting Hope belief trainer who will meet with you online to help you just get rid of lies, help you find truth. And by the way, we have 3 levels of our Negativity Fast Positivity Feast. The first one is free. Most people do that. Then we have a $35 level where you get more content. You get a podcast of the email content. And then we have a third level of certified belief trainers that you get 3 sessions with one of our belief trainers as part of the Negativity Fast. They will help you just find just kingpin lies to renounce and truth that will make you free. And then also, I just want to mention my book, Fully Convinced, The Art of Decision Making, which is also a course on our ignitinghopeacademy.com platform. I've got such powerful responses to that book and the course. I believe it's life-changing. I believe it's transformational. I take the quote, a bad decision made in faith has a greater likelihood of success than a good decision made in doubt. And I unpack that. I unpack the draining effects of doubt, guilt, shame, insecurity, and where we're not fully convinced, and really give keys to how to become fully convinced in our thinking. It's called Fully Convinced, The Art of Decision Making, available on our website, ignitinghope.com or Amazon. And wow, Beth, you've started the 40 days earlier. Wow. Yep. Tom, thanks for saying that. And yeah, Elaine, the 5 loaves is so good. Yep, it's powerful. And yep, we love you, Claire. Love what you guys are doing as our belief trainers. And Oscar, I love it. You want to dedicate your beginnings as an electrician technician. Excited. And that's just, I love you saying that because I think this is a good way to wrap up. It's also our jobs. It's not just our hobbies, our gifts, our talent. It's our jobs. And so that's just another area of dedicating to the Lord. When we dedicate that to Him, He gets excited. So yeah, thanks for sharing that about your new job of being an electrician. Hey, just a couple things I'm hearing prophetically for those of you who are watching this YouTube broadcast. And by the way, if you're on Facebook and you haven't gone to our YouTube channel, Igniting Hope YouTube, we encourage you to go there and like it and subscribe. We're building that up. And yes, and Lisa, yeah, my quote about being unreasonably optimistic has helped frame your life. Yeah, God loves to partner with those who are unreasonably optimistic. And yes. All right, hey, thank you so much. And just the couple things I want to say prophetically over you. I believe God is going to be speaking to you personally through Psalm 1 in this season. I believe He's going to be speaking to you personally through Isaiah 60 and 61 again. And you combine that with Psalm 1, and somebody is going to get revelation on here. What the psalmist said, whatever he does will prosper. The one who's meditating on the word, planted by the streams of living water, whatever he does shall prosper. And I say to you, whatever you do shall prosper. You're in a season of revelation, a season of understanding your benefits as a child of God, as being born again, of what Jesus did on the cross. Is happening. It's going to be revealed to you like never before. You're in key. God's moving in your family situations right now. He's moving in the cities that your families are in, that of where you want to see breakthrough. There's the church is coming alive. There's freedom. There is power. Wow. And then one last thing, you're receiving a grace in this season to help heal marriages at a point, and your prayers for marriages are powerful and effective. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Love having you on. If you're not signed up for our newsletter, you can go to ignitinghope.com, sign up for our newsletter. You'll receive a my Monday blog for every week. And that also shares with you when we'll be on our Facebook lives, our YouTube lives as well. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. God bless.